What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm Gordon in the Woods, and he is former U of MMA champion Pius Lobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus. There you go. There you go.
What's up, man?
Dude, I just had a pretty good meal, but not the meal that apparently Marvin Vettori, I mean, not Vettori, Paulo Costa. Sorry, Vettori. It wasn't you. It's fucking Costa. That motherfucker, what is he doing? Like Brazilian barbecue or like fucking Canelo horse meat? What the fuck?
Tiramisu. He's having tiramisu.
Oh yeah, that tiramisu and fucking red wine. That shit goes to your head. That motherfucker's got a 10-gallon head. Him and Vettori. Fucking wow, man. Jesus Christ. But I mean, if you came to dance, Mama, we'll get to that. But this is a pretty crazy 14 fight card. This is UFC fight night, Costa versus Vettori. They didn't put a number on it, but I'm sure if they name it or hashtag it, it'll be UFC Vegas 41, whatever the fuck. Yeah, so but we're calling it Vettori versus Contra Costa County because that motherfucker probably ate a whole county. Anywho, we're here. Unfortunately, Gifted Gabe Green was supposed to fight Dwight Grant on this one. If you guys follow Gifted Gabe Green on social media, he's having surgery. He's tending to some nagging injury, so he's not here. Aaron Phillips versus Chris Mutino. Mutino has been a fucking stunner since his, kind of inclusion in the UFC. Sad that doesn't happen. And Jonathan Martinez, his original opponent, Aaron Phillips, is not here either. And then Mason Jones versus Alan Patrick. I hope it's Alan Patrick, the lead singer of Filter, because do you want to take my picture? Because I won't even move. That's a 90s Filter reference. But getting paired up, Jonathan Martinez is actually opening the card, which is kind of crazy. 13-4 against an undefeated Zivad Lazishvili. Fuck. I need that. You know what I need. You know what the fuck I need. I need the none other than the foreign name pronunciation classes by Voodoo for $9.99.99 one payment, or 4 easy payments of $4.99.99. I can pronounce words like I'm horribly doing right now, like the scholar brutalitician. That's what I'm gonna go. You're a brutalitician. Voodoo Maximus here. So you want to go ahead and take a crack at that name because I want to see if you did better than I did.
It looks like Vlad Lazishvili.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling
Vlad Lazishvili.
Yeah,
Lazishvili.
We'll
find out on Saturday what they
digestfully, which is apparently what Paulo Costa did right before fucking weigh-ins. He digests fully. Yeah, man. That's yeah. I think I'm just gonna crack Paulo. Well, first off, weight cutting stupid. I'm not actually like I'm shitting on Paulo Costa, but I'm also not, right? Because that dude looks like a fucking buffed out fucking Ricky Martin, right? He looks like a gigantic like Brazilian Fabio with shorter but better hair, and he's not riding roller coasters and having pigeons slam him in the face. But what he isn't doing is fucking making weight. But again, we'll get to that. But I feel like, at least for me, I'm just gonna make Paulo Costa jokes all night. What you say? Looks like Voodoo is like the gal from that movie, right? Like Elsa, because he's frozen. Oh, here's me. There's a bunch of figures here because I like figures, and I also like turtles. And there also might be a Ninja Turtle figure that I might have off camera, like this. It's Plasticell. And if you guys don't know, I'm killing time until the video gets back. But there's that. If you guys don't know, Plasticel, dude, they make some awesome ass sculptures, right? And this one is the Raphael from the Ninja Turtles, and I have like a Rory McDonald somewhere, and then like the Holy Grail is Joe Rogan, but those sums of bitches are going for like 3 grand. Ugh, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. But yeah, dude. So Jonathan Martinez and Sivad, that's going down in the 135-pound division. I think it's kind of weird that Jonathan Martinez is so low on the card, considering he's had some pretty good fights in his kind of UFC early budding UFC career, right? Um, he unfortunately got KO'd by Davy Grant. That was just in March of this year. But he has wins over Frankie Sainz, uh, as well as Thomas Almeida. Uh, Lost a split decision to Andre Yule. But he's been, I mean, since 2008, that's when he got into the UFC. He's just been fucking racking up, you know, either wins or I guess devastating defeats. That too. Yeah, it's Jonathan Martinez, man. Uh, but he is facing a stud, a Georgian fighter, almost like Mirab Davashili, and that literally sounds like his last name. But Zivad is a perfect 12-0. Fighting mostly in Combat League World Championship and the Georgian Martial Arts Confederation, but had his last 2 fights at LFA 79 and LFA 90, respectively, in 2019 and 2020, where uh, against Josh Huber at LFA 79, he basically uh, beat via unanimous decision Josh Huber, which is kind of crazy because that was on the undercard of Brandon Royval's last fight. So, so yeah, that's and then his last win outside of the octagon or outside of the UFC rather was against Ricky Steele, where he finishes his opponent. He basically chokes out Steele, which is really funny, especially if you're like a Superman fan, like the Man of Steel, and he gets beat and he gets choked out by I guess it's kryptonite. Jonathan Martinez is kryptonite in this particular scenario. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Now, man, this Zivad gentleman, Jesus
Yeah,
Believers,
undefeated.
undefeated and having a rear naked choke win, right? In and this is going down in the bantamweight, right? The 135-pound division, right?
Yep.
And it's crazy because Zivad essentially finished a rear naked choke at LFA 90 last year,
Hmm.
and then basically got a decision on the undercard of a Brandon Royval a fight, which again, that's a gentleman who's out of Factory X, friend of the According to Wood show, a friend to us all, I would say.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but he's also a stud at 135. So it's just funny how things kind of work out.
Yes. Yes. This opening matchup right here is going to be quite exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Martinez, he's been sparked here and there, but he comes to fight, man. There's something about that guy that's slightly different. And the fact that he's been in the UFC since what, 2008,
18.
18, that helps solidify the fact that he'll be a veteran in this matchup, going up against this fella that's undefeated. But he's only had what? This will be his first fight in the UFC. It's
Yeah.
different. It's different. People find out, that things are different when it comes to the UFC. I mean, even though he does have 2 wins in LFA, um, Combat League World Championship, where is that?
That's probably in
Georgian,
Georgia, and I'm not
okay,
talking about
Georgian
that
martial arts.
that
All
sweet
right,
peach, sweet
okay,
tea, what have you. Oh, like Marab Davashili, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Who else is there? There's another. There's a bunch of like Georgian fighters. I want to say there's a 185er that is pretty astute. I can't
Hey,
remember their name.
he beat Magomedov.
Yes, on
That's something big.
right, and he did it in like probably closer to home for both of them, right?
Yeah.
Russia for Magomed, and then obviously Georgia for Zivad. So this is a
Hmm.
pretty interesting knockout. And I know what you
Hmm.
said about this is the UFC and what have you,
Hmm.
but the LFA, those wins matter, especially after like
Yes.
2016, 2017,
Hmm.
because they
Hmm.
are the only other organization outside of the UFC that
Yeah.
can use a regular size octagon and call their cage an octagon. So with that all being said, those are big lights, right? Like I don't want to
Yes.
diminish, and the size of the crowd in LFA is going to be probably about the same size as ones at the Performance Institute this coming
Hmm. Hmm.
Saturday. And the
Hmm.
fact that they use at the Institute, they use a smaller cage rather than the big
The
arena
large
cage.
one. Yes.
So I I think it might actually this is just going to be interesting, right? With the wars that Jonathan Martinez has been in since 2018, plus the fact that he has pretty decisive wins in Zivad, in an octagon in front of
Hmm.
bright lights and big stages for
Hmm.
his last few fights.
Hmm.
Again, I this one I actually cannot pick because these are pretty evenly matched. Because you could say the undefeated of Zavid, right?
Hmm.
But then Zivad, uh, but then you go the experience of Martinez,
Hmm.
and it's like to me it's just like it's like that what is it, the Deadliest Warrior, where they put
Hmm.
all of the damn warriors 1,000 times or whatever, and for me I don't have a decisive winner.
Yeah.
This is a draw for me. I mean,
Hey,
not a draw, but
I get what you mean. The thing that we do have that we can use as a decision maker is the fact that we usually don't pick against a 12 someone who is undefeated, and
yeah,
this particular fellow is 12-0.
yeah,
So based on that merit alone, it's hard to go against that. So I'm gonna go with the Georgian fella,
I like it. No, I like
right?
it.
Right?
I want to go there, but I like I said, in to kind of support my claim of this being an
Hmm.
even fight, I'm going to go with Martinez because just
Yeah,
the veteran savvy.
that
Now,
works.
the catch 22 is the
Hmm.
fact that that veteran savvy could be a lot of punches to the damn noggin, and
Could
that
be.
might be the difference maker to Zivad, right? So again, the, I think you said it the best. Like this first one is we're off to the races. This is going to be
Yes,
a
straight up.
fantastic fight.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's candidate for fight of the night
100% right off the bat.
right off the
100%.
bat. Why not?
But there's
Why
so
not?
many though. Like again, this 14 fight card, and yes, some opponents and what have matchups fell off, but this
Hmm.
is a pretty damn solid, especially of people that made their name during this COVID era.
Hmm. Hmm.
Since mid July
Hmm.
2020, this
Hmm.
COVID era of the UFC.
Hmm.
There's some standouts, and even like not just the UFC, but in this next matchup, we have Randa Marcos,
Hmm.
which is crazy. She's 10, 11, and 1. So she's actually, got
Even.
more, yeah, got more losses than she does wins, but even still, she's in the UFC. But
Hmm.
she's going up against somebody again who made their name and career right through this COVID era of time. Is former Invicta 115-pound champion Lavinia Souza, and Jesus Louises, Lavinia Souza, the Brazilian gangster, reminds me a lot of Christine Ferreira,
Right.
right? Just
Right.
like, and of course, Lavina Sousa is a striker, but she's also, I believe, she's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, at the very least, a brown belt.
Hmm.
But it's so interesting to me, right? Because you've got the veteran. It's kind of the same trope that I had, just in this last fight, right? You got
Hmm.
Ronda Marcos, former, Ultimate Fighter alumnus. She's been in there. Yes, she's got a lopsided record, but she's been in there with some of the best that the sport has to
Hmm.
offer,
Hmm.
right? You can't. even being on the Ultimate Fighter show, God, let's just kind of look. Um, yeah, so she had Tisha Torres, the Tiny Tornado, the little bulldog Felice Herring, and she beat both of them. And then Rose Namajunas, who's the current, a strawweight champion. She lost via Kimura, but still, And then she goes into the UFC. Jessica Penne, Asling Daly, another one of her cast members in, the Ultimate Fighter. Then Carolina Kowalkiewicz,
Mm-hmm.
Courtney Casey, Carla Esparza. She beat Carla Esparza just in the last 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that's something.
That's
She
big.
beat, yeah, she beat Angela Hill, another former Invicta champion, right? But she's on and obviously Ashley Spider Monkey Yoda, she beat via a split decision back in 2019. But
Mm-hmm.
holy shit, she's on a 4-fight win streak, and many would guess if she doesn't get some sort of a finish victory and an amazing fight, she might get her walking papers probably soon after this. But look at the lioness's den that she had to go through. Amanda Hebus, Mackenzie Dern, Kanako Murata, right? And Luana Pinero is like the only one, but that one was because uh, Randa actually illegal upkick Luana, so that she just got disqualified.
It
But
was a frustration upkick. I remember that
100%,
match.
yeah, because Luana was. I mean, it wasn't too much in the first round, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the round was about to be over theoretically, but yeah, she was absolutely frustrated. Which I don't. You can't have that with Lavinia Sousa,
No,
not at all.
you go to sleep.
1,000%. And it's just like, does it happen at the hands, at the feet, or by the choke? That's
Mm.
that's kind of Lavinia Sousa. So, I'm
Hey,
gonna go.
you know what I see for this? I see Sosa going. I see them going toe to toe. They're gonna fight. They're gonna throw hands. It's gonna get nasty. But I see elbows sneaking in, breaking the nose. I see
Mm,
blood. I see
yeah,
blood. I see Marcos bleeding, and then I see Marcos getting her back taken and that neck taken, rear naked choke. That's what I see. But I see lots of damage.
yeah.
For some reason, that's what I see for this fight.
I don't disagree with you, and I would even put a little bit of extra asterisk of it because the fact that Ronda Marcos, she has a methodical style, right? And much like Donald Cowboy Cerrone, she's a kind of slow starter, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can't do that with Lavinia. Like
Mm-hmm.
Lavinia is laser focused. She's
Mm-hmm.
set phasers to stun, and she'll stun you. And that stun, like you said, could be a damn broken bone, broken orbital, broken nose, or the crimson mass of flowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I too have Lavinia Sosa.
But
I, good.
but Souza better keep that gas tank in check.
Yeah,
Her
100%.
cardio her cardio better be on point because Marcos is always in shape. You know what I
Thousand
mean?
percent.
She's always in shape, even though she loses all these matches. It's always an exciting match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She just doesn't get beat easily. She's a very tough opponent. She usually goes 15 minutes. You know what I mean? All 3 rounds. So don't expect this to be a pushover. Souza, you know what I mean? Because if
Yeah.
you will be disappointed if he didn't take this girl seriously. But either way, I as well, I'm going with Souza on this one.
Yeah, and you know what I'm thinking? This is where I differ from you.
Hmm.
I think it's
Hmm.
actually going to be an armbar. The reason
Hmm.
being is she hasn't. I mean, she's had chokes, she's had KOs and everything like that. I mean, she KO'd. Uh, I want to say it was. I want to say it was Deanna Bennett. Um, but yeah, because that's how she won the title, right,
Okay.
from Deanna Bennett. So I want to say because she
Yes,
hasn't.
yes. Body kick.
Right. She hasn't had an armbar since 2014 in Adeline Godoy. I say
Mm.
she brings her because it's all been either decision or chokes outside of
Mm-hmm.
the aforementioned Deanna Bennett fight
Mm-hmm.
where she KOs Bennett,
Mm-hmm.
who made a successful debut at
Mm-hmm.
Bellator not too long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I say it's an armbar because she's bringing that sexy ass armbar back.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hell
Either
yes.
either way, she's winning. The Brazilian gangster.
Yeah, Brazilian gangster, dude. I mean, if you're her coaches or what have you, you guys need to be pumping out fucking, Brazilian gangster shirts. Because that's like too good of a nickname to
That's
not
pretty
have
sick.
merch fucking,
Yeah.
going down. So I hope,
Yeah.
Lavina, like you heed to that. We want some Brazilian gangster merch and shit.
Yeah.
I think we're, some of the first two that'll grab some of that, fucking
Yeah.
put it in our fucking virtual cart and hit for the PayPal, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But speaking of like crazy ass fights, this one might be a sleeper. It's 9-2 Jeff Molina, right? Jeff Molina, blah 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 blah. El Jefe, the last time that I mean, shit, dude, he hasn't lost since 2018, right?
Yes. I
He
was waiting for
hasn't
you to
lost since
finish.
like like he loses his. I mean, he goes undefeated, right, with 5 fights in his amateur career, right, and almost all of them. I mean, oh fuck! Out of 5 fights of an amateur career, only one is a decision, and that is a unanimous decision. So this motherfucker in his amateur career hasn't lost a round theoretically, right? Then he loses his pro debut at Victory FC Fight Night at Heroes Casino. Then he fights Delfino Benitez and beats him by rear naked choke, but then lost to Nate Smith, who's avenging his loss to one El Jefe because that was El Jefe's last fight before he turns pro. So Nate Smith essentially avenging his amateur loss in the pro, running that shit back. But after Nate Smith, literally, this motherfucker isn't. He's undefeated. He's undefeated. It's so wild, right? So, man, on the other side of the docket, we have the one and only Daniel Da Silva, Milho, right? He's 11-1, 11-1, and this is actually his UFC debut because he, um, coming into the UFC, had wins in promotions such as Mr. Cage 39. That was back in 2019. And then he beats Rodrigo Sarafian. Rodrigo Sarafian. Say that 3 times fast. Apparently, I can't. But Rodrigo Sarafian, he KOs in the very first round of Shuto Brazil 108. So he is making his promotional debut against Jeff Molina. So yeah, not sure how this is gonna go. Obviously, I'm actually kind of going with El Jefe because he's just on this incredible streak. I think El Jefe takes it, but apparently, uh, one Vudus, a Pius Lobo will the phone overheated, so we're gonna run that back. So I think it's gonna be El Jefe, um, and it's funny because I defended the Zivad about fighting on big stages, but I think I think the butterflies come to Daniel Da Silva and ensure that Jeff Molina at this juncture of his career remains undefeated. So I'm going Jeff Molina. Don't know how it's gonna happen, but and I don't want to say it's like KO because you're basically counting out Daniel Da Silva, but also Daniel Da Silva has a bunch of KOs in his repertoire. So again, very very damn interesting. So going up in card, we have Karma Worthy 16-8 right, against Jai Herbert. Jai Herbert, a former Cage Warriors champion, the Black Country Ranger, is Mister Herbert, and he's actually he went undefeated in Cage Warriors, right? Cage Warriors 99, 94, 100, 102, 106, and 109. But loses his promotional debut against Francisco Trinaldo, where he gets KO'd with the overhand left. And then Renato Moicano, he loses by rear naked choke. So one would argue that if Jai Herbert doesn't win this, he'll be three and out, right? As a former Cage Warriors champion. But he's going up against tough, the Death Star, Karma Worthy, right? Karma Worthy is actually 0-2 in his last two fights, right? He lost to Otman Azitar, right? He gets KO'd in the very first round, and then Jamie Malarkey KOs him with a left hook into ground and pound. But he has wins over Luis Pena, which thank goodness. Yeah, Luis Pena has been in the news, and not for good reason, right? So there was that. So this is a make or break for both gentlemen. I want to believe, and you would think Karma Worthy would be somebody that the UFC would keep, but as long he's been in the UFC since 2019, but has had one, two, three, four, five, six. He's had five. He's had six fights in the UFC, right? And he's not in the title picture, right? So I think if he doesn't do something, if Karma Worthy doesn't do something to Molina, he might be. I mean, I'm sorry, not Molina, but Jai Herbert. He might be out of the UFC. So I want to say I'm going to go with the Cage Warriors champion. I'm going somebody that has tasted gold, and especially a reputable promotion like Cage Warriors. I'm going to go with Jai Herbert. Um, Maybe unanimous decision. I say, yeah. So I'm going to go with that. So going up, we have Lauren. Oh Jesus, Pepe Loreno. There we go. Starpoli. Uh, Saropoli. I can't say that three times fast, but I'm just gonna call him Pepe because that's his nickname. But Pepe is 9-4, right? 9-4, and he's coming to us via Argentina. Um, he's from he's from Buenos Aires, so that is cool. Now, unfortunately, he's been 0-3 in his last three fights. Those coming by at the hands of Muslim Salikov, right? Unanimous decision for Salikov, unanimous decision for the Dirty Bird Tim Means, and then Roman Dolidze is another unanimous decision loss. But prior to that, he was uh, 2-0 in the UFC. That was back in 2018, where he faces faces and beats via unanimous decision Hector Aldana and then Thiago Alves. Those are both decision victories. So he just goes to decision, all right? But on the other side of the docket, it's the 11-6 Jamie the Night Wolf Pickett. And Jamie Pickett, he's actually 0-2 in his last two outings, right? Um, he lost a unanimous decision to Tafan Nchukwi, and the Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright, KOs him in the very first round back in May of this year, May 2021, right? So, whew, man. Um, I'm gonna go with Pickett, and the reason being is he he faced Jonathan Patty in the Dana White Contender Series and KOs him in 33 seconds of the second round. To me, that means something. Um, so I want to say that he might have a puncher's chance of an edge against Pepe. So I'm going to go with one Jamie Pickett for the win. Maybe a third round KO. Maybe a third round KO. Now he's back and better than ever.
I agree with that Pickett pick.
Yeah, right?
I agree. And he's got more experience.
100%. 100%.
But quick question. Who did you pick? Worthy or Herbert?
I went with Herbert, and the reason being is he's tasted Cage Warriors gold, right? Um for me that it's just like an LFA title, right? That is
Smart. It's credible.
it's absolutely credible. And I'm not saying that other promotions aren't credible, but this is a different league. So that's why I want to say Jai Herbert versus Karma Worthy. I don't know if Karma not has it anymore, but it's different.
Yeah. I
It's okay. Yeah, what's good, sister?
Hey, you're never late. You're on time. You're on
On time.
schedule.
Yeah, right on time.
So you know what? I'm with you on that, man. I got Herbert as well. I got Herbert as well. There's a intelligence to his striking, especially the boxing part. So I'm gonna roll with him too.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Karma Worthy is his style because it has been so exciting. He's had those crazy ass. He almost wrote the book of the post Yves Edward, post Edson Barbosa, fucking crazy ass viral KOs, right? Because he's tasted that. I think not to say that he's reckless.
I
right?
get it. I
Yeah,
totally get it.
it's a weird one. So it's a perfect style for Jai Herbert to make, an impression, I think, to people who might have not known his career up until this point.
Yeah, and I think his game planning is going to be much better than Worthy's.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal opinion.
100%. Yeah.
But
So
what about Jeff Molina and Daniel Da Silva? I think that's the next fight of the night right there.
Yeah, 100%. I think I went with Molina just because
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, look at how many his the career is pretty fucking impressive. The fact that even he beat Nate Smith at Victory FC. Nate Smith gets his win back in pro, right? But that is the catalyst to send him literally fucking to the moon. He's undefeated in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fucking fights. Jesus Christ. He is El Jefe. Dude, I pledge allegiance to the El Jefe. It's just you and Mike Beltran. Those are the two El Jefes that I acknowledge.
Hey,
so
he's bringing that new style too. That free flowing style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's right there with the Royval and Adrian Yanez. He's in that league now. He's one of them dudes. The what's that flashy rainbow hair kid?
Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, the O'Malley. He's right there with him now.
There.
He just needs to build his platform, and he's on.
Yeah, and there's nothing against Daniel Da Silva, but this is his promotional debut. So everything that I said about Zvad, right? I fucking flipped the fucking script and I said that was actually a deterrent for Daniel Da Silva, right? The big lights and what have you. I'm sure. I mean, there's a reason why the UFC, brass brought him in, right? But does he become just a guy that fills the card, or this is just not a great fight for Daniel, where Jeff Molina is got that wicked style to thwart everything that Daniel Da Silva throws at him. And I think Da Silva against maybe another young upstart in his next fight, he wins and shows us what or even a veteran that's maybe out the door, a veteran at flyweight, that might not have the chin that he used to have, and Daniel Da Silva picks up a big name. But I don't think at this juncture of Da Silva's career that he can thwart Jeff Molina, but I could be wrong. It's not the first time.
Yeah, we've been wrong many times, but this is our prediction. This is our prediction.
1,000%. 1,000%. Now, I kind of already know where I'm going, but the 5-1 former LFA strawweight champion she is the one and only Tabitha Ricci. Tabitha is 5-1, obviously, the baby shark. She's Brazilian, but she's kind of ours. She trains at
Mm-hmm.
Black House. She trains at Paragon, out in the 805 area code, as
Mm-hmm.
well as think she's at Saxon Muay Thai in Van Nuys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she's an LA girl theoretically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she lost to Manon Firo, but who doesn't, right?
On
Uh,
short notice.
Short notice, absolutely. So this is like a statement making one because
Mm-hmm.
you get short notice your debut with the company and you get
Mm-hmm.
KO'd by Manon Firo, who I
Mm-hmm.
believe will be a future champion,
Mm-hmm.
like of the division.
And though she was KO'd, she was still on her feet.
Right, 100%. 100%. The referee had to, come in.
Mm-hmm.
She's just too tough for her own good. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe she's a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu brown belt, right?
Something like
Now
that.
she's going up against a much more experienced Neta Maria Oliveira, right? And this is actually Oliveira's promotional debut,
Mm-hmm.
because she pretty much she actually lost in the Dana White Contender Series back in 2018 against Marina
Mm-hmm.
Rodriguez,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she lost for strikes, first round, right? And she was actually in the Risen fighting World Grand Prix, but she lost to Kana Asakura,
Mm-hmm.
right? But has a win over the Tiny Tim Alyssa Garcia. And for those who don't know, that is pretty much like Josh Burnett's and Victor Henry's little sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa Tiny Tim Garcia, a fabulous wrestler. So, I mean, it's not to say that even though this is a promotional debut,
Uh-huh.
it's not to say Maria Oliveira hasn't had easy fights because
Mm-hmm.
she's had some toughies, right? And
Mm-hmm.
her she basically, if you count in all of combat sports, she's 2-0 in the last two outings in MMA, but she's
Mm-hmm.
3-0 in terms of all combat sports because she fought a grappling bout at DM Fight One
Mm-hmm.
against Cynthia Maria, and won a decision there. But then she got the unanimous decision over Dooley Driuli, I want to say, Duarte at Curitiba Top Fight 12. That's Curitiba, Brazil, home of Anderson Silva, and
Mm-hmm.
many great champions. I believe Prince
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then goes to
Vanderlei.
Vanderlei,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Who can forget the scariest motherfucker in Pride?
Mm-hmm.
I literally, there are times where I would shit myself hearing him
Until
say,
he ran into Crow Cop.
yeah, 1,000%. This leg hospital, this leg cemetery.
Cemetery.
Fucking hell, man. That's it. That's all you need.
Decapitated.
You don't have to do a fucking long ass promo. Like, yeah, that's what you got, man. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about Tabitha Ricci. So
Mm-hmm.
I make no. If you've been on either Voodoo in the Woods or According in the Woods, I'm not picking against you. So
No.
I'm going with Tabitha Ricci. Now, Maria Oliveira is a tough, fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that Alyssa Garcia win, that tells me
Mm-hmm.
everything you need to know,
Mm-hmm.
that I need to know
Mm-hmm.
about Maria. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think, much like the fight previous, it's Tabitha Ricci's night. Maria
Yeah.
will, in her next outing, she'll be better, right? But I just
Mm-hmm.
think Tabitha Ricci, the striking has gotten infinitely better. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, Little Monster, also a former, I mean not LFA strawweight champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa Little Monster Demopoulos is here for as her trading partner. So those are two flyweight champions of the LFA. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just championship pedigree. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Tabitha Ricci.
I'm also going with Tabitha Ricci because she's got a dog in her, as they say these days. Um, Maria is more experienced, but I think the fight will be very even. It's gonna be a slobber knocker, and it's gonna be a split decision.
Yeah,
Richie.
I like that. Yeah, split decision because I can't say KO or submission
Nah,
because
I don't see that.
yeah, I mean these are two tough Brazilian women, right?
Hmm.
Like and from pretty. I mean, you got to fight. They fought. To get where they are. I'm not saying that anybody else didn't, but I just, I've heard some stories from my friends over at Favela Jiu Jitsu, right? And they teach, kids in the favelas, right, to do Jiu Jitsu and have pride. Um, yeah, it can be rough. So this this is going to be a fucking fun fight. It might not be fight of the night, but I think a lot of people will be surprised at both ladies, and I applaud them in advance for it.
Maria is 5 inches taller. So that tells you right there that game plan is going to be take her to the ground,
Mm-hmm.
wrestle her, put her on the
Yeah,
fence and wrestle her. And it's going to be yeah, that split decision makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like that. I'm unanimous with that, 100%.
Hmm.
But fuck, we got some fireworks in this next one, right?
Hmm.
We have a debuting 8-0 undefeated, uh, Glory MMA veteran. We know a certain person out that way likes Glory MMA. We love
Hmm.
Glory MMA. There's nothing wrong with. Shout out to Zach Cummings and oh, why am I blanking on his name? Oh, Zach Cummings and there's the other gentleman. Oh, I'm blanking on his name. But Glory MMA, they're
Yeah.
badass. They're out of Missouri and what have you. But 8-0 is David Onama. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
David Onama, right?
Hmm.
Um, what is that flag, sir?
Uganda.
Uganda.
Hmm.
Holy shit!
Hmm.
Oh, this
Idi
is.
Amin.
Yeah, I was gonna say fucking Kamala, but we'll go that
That's
way
true
too.
too.
Yeah, fucking. Either way, some savage beasts, man.
Straight up.
Um,
The
so
boy the boy's never tasted defeat in his entire career
yeah,
since
and
2014.
yes, and all of them fucking. I mean, his amateur is where he got his last decision, and that was his last. I mean, that was his amateur kind of swan song against Garrett Armfield, right?
Hmm.
But he KO guillotine. Uh, he fought a guy named Raymond Bighead and choked him out via guillotine in the very first round.
He caught that big head.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking. Oh, that is something I'm gonna go on a fucking YouTube wormhole on because I have to know more about Raymond Bighead. Oh God. Oh, big head. Okay. Uh, yeah. Holy shit, he's here. Oh my God. Yeah, he's a Rage in the Cage veteran.
Oh,
But
okay.
yes, and Takea says I'm going for Ricci too. It's going to be a
Mhm.
tough fight, but because I'm going for her. So
Mhm.
I I I, I like I like where Takea is going. That's the same thing when I like if I get involved with like the Niners. I grew up in San Francisco for the most part. Well, not for the most part, but I was born in San Francisco. And anytime
Mhm.
I sit down to watch a Niner game or I begin to go like, oh, root them, they always fucking lose. So yeah, I know exactly what you're feeling, sister. So yeah, all love there. But on the other side of the docket, you have the 10-1 Welsh Mason the Dragon Jones. And
Mhm.
damn, hasn't Mason impressed the shit out of you since he's
Yes, he
been in the
has.
UFC?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. The dragon has put his foot down, and the last loss that we saw on his record is against Mike Davis. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
his very last fight. But
Yeah.
before that, he knocked out Adam Proctor. He
Yeah.
knocked out Joe McCallaghan, Alexei Machiavelli. He got
Yeah,
beat.
absolutely. What did you say?
Donovan got beat. You know what I mean? So, uh,
Here's the thing. We were talking about like Cage Warriors, right? This motherfucker is undefeated in Cage Warriors. The
Yes.
entire promotion, dating
Yes.
back to 2017 and Cage Warriors 87.
hmm hmm
And he's just undefeated. Now,
hmm
obviously, he had the aforementioned Mike Davis loss, and
hmm
then the no contest accidental eye poke with Alan Patrick. That
hmm
just happened in June, right?
hmm
So, man, it's ooh wee. I want to
Yeah.
hear what you got.
It's gonna be a good match. It's
It
gonna be a good
is.
match.
It
Um,
is. I'm excited for this shit.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Mason's wrestling pedigree is
Mhm.
about. If
James
he
Krause. That's
if
Glory
he can't,
MMA.
okay, if he can't wrestle, it's gonna be a tough match for him. It seems David Onama is pretty fast, quick hands, quick feet. Uh, it's gonna be a beautiful display of striking for sure. If Mason can get it to the ground. But I see
Yeah.
this one. I see this one going 15 minutes. It's gonna be like a kickboxing exhibit.
You say
It's gonna
that.
it's gonna be good though. It's gonna
It's
be
gonna be
good.
good. No, but I'm actually leaning towards David Onama
hmm
because
He
Glory
is
MMA
undefeated.
he's undefeated, but also Glory MMA has wrestling, right?
hmm
They Zach Cummings, James Krause, the rest of them. Even even though she didn't display it too much,
hmm
Megan Anderson, right? There's
hmm
some wrestling there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
there's from what I hear, there's tons of amateur and regional, guys and girls that are just chomping at the bit. So
Mm.
that wrestling room at Glory MMA in Kansas, Jesus Louises.
It's
So
popping over there.
yeah, so I'm gonna go with David for sure.
Sounds like a move. Sounds like a move.
Yeah, but
Sounds like the
then
right move.
Mason could fucking KO him in the second round and whatever, and then it's weird, or
It's hard to pick against. I mean, it's hard to pick against undefeated.
yeah, hundred
You know
percent,
what I mean? It's hard to pick against that. And
yeah,
Mason has tasted defeat in his entry into the UFC. He also was undefeated upon his entry. Maybe you know what? You pick David, I'll pick Mason.
all
They're
right,
both pretty decent.
yeah,
Mason was 10-0 before he lost,
yeah, 100%, hundred
right?
percent,
So he has that edge,
yeah,
even though David is still undefeated.
yeah,
So
no,
it's a good 50-50.
yeah, and I like that point that he was
Mm-hmm,
undefeated up until that
mm-hmm,
one loss, right, and then the
mm-hmm,
no contest, which they didn't really kind of count towards him. So
mm-hmm,
yeah, man, I like it. I like it either way.
mm-hmm,
So I think a lot of people are also going to be surprised at
mm-hmm.
the outcome of this. So hell yes, shout out to David Onama and Mason Jones, man. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be fun. Holy fuck, right? We have former LFA 185-pound champion Gregor Rodriguez, right? 10 and
Mm-hmm.
3 is RoboCop, right?
Yes.
Training out of Black House, training, Brazilian. Like he's just fucking amazing, right? But his lost his Dana White Contender Series debut to Jordan Williams, but
Mm-hmm.
then rebounds by actually coming into the UFC and KOs Al Matavo,
Mm-hmm.
Matavao, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Josh Fremd at LFA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then actually those two happening at LFA, right? The Al Matavo and then the Josh Fremd. But he KOs both of them and then
Mm-hmm.
wins a unanimous decision over, a crafty Dusko Tudorovic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now on the other side of the docket, we've got Jun Yon Park, who's 13 and 4, is the Iron Turtle. But the Iron
Mm-hmm.
Turtle, you know, he he's looked pretty fucking good in the UFC, right? His only loss was to Anthony Hernandez
Mm-hmm.
back in 2019 in his UFC debut, but
Mm-hmm.
pretty much, tore up the regional scene, right? Where in
Mm-hmm.
his neck of the woods, and then rebounds from the Anthony Hernandez fight and beats via unanimous decision Marc Andre Barrialt, right? Unanimous decision over John Phillips, and a majority decision over Tafan Nchukwi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, this is
Mm-hmm.
another good one. I,
Yes,
I, wa-
it, it
I want to
it's a
know what
very
you
good
got.
one. It's a very
Yes,
good one. They're both very uh they're great fighters.
yes.
But the thing that's going to make a difference in this particular matchup is going to be the boxing.
Mm-hmm.
June Young Park has very good boxing,
Yes, he
very
does.
good hand speed. Gregor Rodriguez has good striking, but he doesn't have hand speed. This is going to be a key element in this particular matchup. Gregor, how is your wrestling? Your jiu-jitsu is phenomenal, but can you take this match to the ground? Because if you
Mm,
can't take this match to the ground, he's going to get pieced up real smooth. He's going to
yeah.
get pieced up real smooth. And I'm going to go on a limb and say Jun Young Park is going to toe tag Gregor Rodriguez in this particular matchup.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I like it. I like it. This one I'm going loyalty because I've been around Gregory Rodriguez and what have you. And he has done some work with none other than Kenny Johnson of Bolt Wrestling.
Mm.
So
He also fought at Smash Global.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. Was that the one that you fought at, or
No, I don't think so. I
okay?
don't remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going with Rodriguez. I don't know how it's gonna
It,
happen. But the thing about it is, Junior Park could fucking touch fucking Gregory's chin, and he goes night night. Like
or it
I'm
could be the
very
other way around.
yeah, yeah,
This match
yeah,
is that close. It is that close. It's a 51-49 type thing. It's
yes,
very close.
yeah,
It's very close.
yeah,
So it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be
yeah.
exciting for a fact.
It's so crazy. I mean, I obviously we've got the catch weight up top and what have
Hmm.
you, but like we're at fight 9 out of the 14 fight cards, and there's at least 4, if not 5, fight of the nights already,
Hmm.
and we're only on like fight number 8 going into 9. That's a
Hmm.
pretty fucking good deal if you're
We
the
f-
UFC.
we finally made it to the main event. Finally.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting started off is the 10-1 Niku Negameranu. Yep,
It's something like that.
yep. And that's the only time I'm going to say that last name. Not out of disrespect, but those Romanian last names, by God, it's a slobber knocker. I literally slobbered all over myself trying to fucking do it. But he was pretty much undefeated, on the Russian and the Eastern European scene, right?
Hmm.
And he comes into the UFC and he loses his UFC debut back in 2019
Hmm.
against Sarpeg Safarov, right? But then gets a split decision win over Alexa Kramer, which is pretty decent. That happens on June of last year, right? June
Hmm.
19th, 20. Oh, not last
This
year,
year.
this year. Yeah, 100%.
Hmm.
Dyslexic when it comes to numbers. Ugh.
Hmm.
But he is facing Hurricane Ike Villanueva, right? Villanueva, 18 and 12, a very tenured veteran, right?
Hmm.
Um, coming off of a loss against Marcin Porcinho, but
Hmm.
he beat Vinicius Morea, right? He lost to Jordan Wright, lost to Jason Sherman, but Rashad Coulter is a name that a lot of people haven't seen in quite a while. But
Hmm.
Rashad Coulter, you know, going into that was a 16-8 record holder, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and I believe, I mean, he's from Fortis MMA, yeah, and he's a UFC veteran, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
You're facing guys like Tai Tuivasa, Jay
Hmm.
Sherman, funny enough, and
Hmm.
Chris De La Hocha, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
who and the thing about Hurricane Ike is the fact that he comes in a lot smaller, in his last kind of couple of he came in as a heavyweight into the UFC, and now
Mm-hmm.
he's fighting at light heavy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. You got
Hmm.
hey, sometimes you got to do whatever you can to get in the door. Rashad Evans, he was in the Ultimate Fighter heavyweight
As a
division as
heavyweight,
well.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then he dropped down. But this particular matchup is going to be a good match. But I've gotten to know Ike Villanueva now, and he looks like he would be from like South America, but when he talks, he's
yeah,
from Texas.
yeah,
He's from Texas. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So he's got that Paul Wall sounding. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So I like his old gimmick and his boxing. I like his boxing, but this
Nick,
this Negumirianu fella
yeah,
looks like he's gonna bring like some ground fighting,
yeah,
which Ike tends to have a problem with that. But
yes,
like everyone else, he'll do his best. But depending on what kind of cardio this fella Nick is bringing, cardio and wrestling would determine if Ike loses this match or not. Ike can stand with almost anyone, right? But
yeah.
his ground, when you take him to the ground, that's when he struggles the most. So I'm gonna go with Ike anyway. I like Ike. I
I
like
do
Ike.
too. I
Yeah.
do too. But I'm going with Nico, and the reason being is like, yes, Ike punches well for a guy who's coming down from
Mm-hmm.
heavyweight to
Mm-hmm.
light heavy, right
Mm-hmm.
at this stage of his life and career, because he is, what isn't he about 40?
He's getting up there. He's getting up there.
He's
Let me see.
37. He's
Okay.
37,
Yeah,
but
he's getting up there.
I mean, that's 37 with how many fights?
Mm-hmm.
40,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so
30,
with
30.
that's what I'm saying. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's is yeah, you're right. 30,
Mm-hmm.
30, right? Yeah, so 30 fights. 30 fucking fights.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no. 20. Oh fuck, I can't do the math. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with that all being said, um I think Niku is going to expose some of the glaring inefficiency of Hurricane Ike's, because Hurricane Ike is used to being a power puncher, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
dropping all that weight, right, and moving down a division, you lose a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that power, right? And I think that's pretty advantageous for Niku to kind of
Mm-hmm.
expose that, because that's exactly what happened in Ike's last fight, where he loses to Marcin Portinho, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he gets fucking liver shotted in the fucking body,
Mm-hmm.
and not, I mean, not a slap liver shot, but a fucking kick,
Mm-hmm.
and even still, that shut everything the fuck down, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
So
remember that.
I don't feel like what Ike is bringing to the table, or to the octagon rather, is going to be any different. That will thwart, um, that would thwart one Niku. So I'm going with Niku, and yep, that's making me think. I agree, 100%.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
So
Um,
good.
uh, yeah, I'm good with that. It, it's more of a 53-47 type split, though,
Yeah,
giving your guy the advantage. But I'm willing to win big when
yeah,
Ike gets that win, though.
yeah. Because again, I could say everything in MMA math it the
Hmm.
whole fucking time, but
Hmm.
guess what? All it takes is one fucking hurricane of his fist to fucking
Hmm.
send Niku down to the
Hmm.
canvas below. So, yeah, and again, this is super fucking exciting. So,
and
hell
and we
yes,
we will see. We will see
we
come
will see.
Saturday.
We'll see. Now we had a tenured vet in Francisco Trinaldo,
Hmm.
26-8. He is 43 years old, um, and he just, holy hell, man. Um, this is crazy because he beats OG Bobby Green in 2019, faces
Mm-hmm.
John McDessie
Mm-hmm.
in via unanimous. It beats John McDessie by unanimous decision,
Mm-hmm.
and then has that crazy ass KO of the aforementioned Jai Herbert, former
Mm-hmm.
Cage Warriors champion, and he
Mm-hmm.
KOs him with the overhand left in the third round, right?
Yep.
But then loses a unanimous decision to Muslim Salikov, right?
Yep.
Uh,
Indeed.
now we've got Dwight Grant, right? Dwight Grant is 11-3, is the body snatcher, and
Yeah.
that's a moniker that you like saying pretty damn well, good sir.
That's pretty sick. I
Yes,
like that. And and
yes,
and and if you're gonna be the body snatcher, you better be snatching bodies and snatching consciousness. I see arm triangle. I see knockout, knockout, striking, knockout. You know what I mean? So he is a severe striker,
yeah,
devastating striker, and he'll take that neck if he has to. You know,
mhm,
so he has some understanding of submission, right?
yeah,
Um, Trinaldo is 43,
43,
like you
yeah,
said, but the dude is pretty bad. He's pretty bad for his age.
yeah,
He's still in phenomenal shape, and he doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. He's able to maintain a high pace for 15 minutes, but he's given away a lot of reach in this match. I believe Trinaldo is like what 5'9",
yeah,
and this fella is 6'1".
hmm
And with the kind of striking that he throws, I don't know if
and
Trinaldo is going to be able to to get close to land a significant shot on this Dwight Grant kid.
yes, and the thing about it is the gym that Dwight Grant trains out of is none
Mm-hmm.
other than the American Kickboxing Academy, better known as AKA, who
Mm-hmm.
spawned such, I mean, seminal talents as Habib Nurmagomedov, Daniel
There you
Cormier,
go.
Josh the Bully, Josh the Punk Thompson. There's so many. I mean, Darion Wynn is there now. Like fucking Cain Velasquez,
Mm-hmm.
obviously,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, and the great fucking Javier Mendez, right? So
Yeah.
I got the fucking body snatcher, man. He snatches the
Yeah.
body out of fucking Trinaldo, and nothing against Trinaldo, but you're fighting just a fight at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You're no closer
You're
to
just getting a paycheck now.
right. Absolutely, I want to
It's
see
going
somebody
down.
that is going to be a star, and I appreciate everything that
Mm-hmm.
Francisco Trinaldo has done for the sport, the
Mm-hmm.
sacrifices that he's made on his body.
Mm-hmm.
You notice what I said there. The
Mm-hmm.
sacrifices that he made to his body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those sacrifices are going to be snatched
Mm-hmm.
by the body snatcher Dwight Grant.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying third round KO.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah, yeah. So we're moving on up. Ew, the whatever.
Featherweights.
Yeah, man. We have Sung Woo Choi, 10-3 out of South Korea, is Sting. Now he is on a 3-fight win streak because he beat Suman Mokhtarian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mokhtarian,
Mm-hmm.
right? Via unanimous decision back in 2019. Then he beats via unanimous decision Yusuf Zalal, and then he
Mm-hmm.
KOs Julian Erosa just in June of this year with a left hook, and this finishes out the ground and pound. Now,
Mm-hmm.
on the other side is Alex Caceres, Bruce Leroy, a 30-fight veteran. Um, Jesus Louisi. The last time that we saw one Alex Caceres is against Kevin Kroom, where he wins by unanimous decision, right? And then before that, he beat Austin Stringer, and that was a rear naked choke. Chael Sonnen's son, Chase Hooper, gets thwarted by one Alex Caceres via unanimous decision, and then unanimous decision for Stephen Pearson. Now they
Mm-hmm.
brought him in, right, as a guy to fill a card for the Ultimate Fighter 27 finale,
Mm-hmm.
which he
Mm-hmm.
beats Martin Bravo via split decision back in 2018. Yeah, and then he loses to Kron Gracie via rear naked choke. That's a lamb to the slaughter. So with that all being said, one Alex Caceres is riding a 4 fight win streak, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something. Now, Sung Woo Choi is a little bit more tenured, right? Actually, I'm sorry, not more tenured. He's 10-3, and we mentioned the Julian Erosa Yusuf Salal. So I want to hear what you have to say because I don't like Alex Caceres reminds me of Luis Pena and not in the
Mm-hmm.
good way.
Mm-hmm. Alex Caceres has learned. He's mastered the art of mixed martial art. He's mastered it. Every now and then he'll get caught by the
Yeah,
likes of Kron Gracie,
yeah,
Guan Wan, Jason Knight, Yair Rodriguez, Francisco Rivera Jr., Uriah Faber.
yeah,
Every now and then he'll get caught by these big name fellas, Michael Johnson, you know. So he's been in there with some significant fellas.
yeah.
So from all that accumulated experience, he understands how to win MMA matches. He understands how to mix things up. And that's what you're gonna see when he goes in there against Su Woo Choi. Su Woo Choi is a dynamic boxer, beautiful boxer. That's why they call him Sting, because he will knock you out if you are
Mhm.
not careful. And Bruce Leroy is gonna be ready for all that. He's going to be ready for that. He's going to be continuously moving, not setting. And when the opportunity arises, he's going to go for the takedown. He's going to
Yeah,
mix it up real good because he's not trying to go to sleep. I think Bruce Leroy will win this one by split decision like he always wins 99.999% of his
then
fights.
yeah. I got the same. I think this is one where the momentum of the card kind of gets
Mm-hmm,
shifted, and
mm-hmm,
this is like a nice like body break fight before the main. I mean, the last three fights in the card. So
mm-hmm,
yeah, I think Alex Caceres does something, and I also see. I mean, Alex Caceres outlanding in terms of strike counts
mm-hmm,
over Sing Woo Choi. Uh,
mm-hmm.
Sung Woo Choi might be bloodied after this affair.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I like Wu Choi. I like him a lot. He's very good
Yeah.
fighter. But I think Alex just has more knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
IQ,
Yeah.
more
Fight IQ.
MMA IQ, not specifically boxing IQ or specifically kickboxing IQ. Caceres has a collective IQ. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? He's been in the game for so long. I mean, the dude entered the UFC in 2010.
Yeah. That's 11 years.
2010, yeah. He's been in the UFC all that time fighting tip top fighters
Mm-hmm.
with a winning record in the UFC. You know what I mean? He's just been collecting checks. He's like, you know what, man? Forget the belt. give me give me favorable matchups so I can keep winning and keep getting money to fight and money to show. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it is what it is.
Right. And that's what I meant about him reminding me of Violent Bob Ross, Luis Pena, where he just
Hmm.
fights to fight. And I don't
Hmm.
know, if that's advantageous, but
Well,
if he digs it, then that's it, and he's figured a way to do it. I
yeah.
mean, I was there, back in 2016 at
Hmm.
UFC 199 with his
Hmm.
win over Cole Miller. And, this guy, I remember being at like the beer stand and everything, and people were just like, "Oh, that's that Bruce Leroy kid," you know.
Hmm.
So he is, he's got something. So I also will go with Caceres.
Yeah, Caceres, he's an interesting fellow. The one thing that I saw over the years that really improved was the way he puts things together, but his
Mm-hmm.
cardio. His cardio has been excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very top of the line.
Yeah,
So I don't know where Song Woo Choi is, but let's see if he can handle it.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's gonna be a waiting game. come Saturday. So I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
Now in fight number 12, we have Australia's Jessica Rose Clark against Panama Jocelyn Edwards. Now we're
Hmm.
going with Jocelyn Edwards first, training out of King's MMA, right, and
Hmm.
sometimes getting the tutelage of none other than 10 Planet Jiu Jitsu, right?
Hmm.
Lost her last fight against Carol Hosa
Hmm.
via unanimous decision, but Yunan Yu, who's a tough hombre, um, she beats Yunnan in the via unanimous decision on that historic UFC on
On
ABC.
ABC.
Yeah, back at the beginning of the year. I mean,
Hmm.
you can't repeat history, and that's it. You're on that card. You're immortalized forever. But Pamela Gonzalez at UWC in Mexico, she gets a KO, a 28-second KO, and then right before that, she actually loses to now UFC um, roster member Sarah Alpar, right?
Yeah.
And she loses via unanimous, I mean, a split decision, right? And then
Hmm.
she's also a King of the Cage veteran, um, and she beats Brenda Gonzalez via armbar.
Yeah.
That was back in 2018, right? So on the other side of the docket, we've got the 10-6 Jessica Rose Clark. Bantamweight is Jesse Jess, and Jesse Jess. Actually, we were just talking about Sarah Alpar because
Hmm.
Jocelyn Edwards beat her back in King of the Cage. Well, guess what?
Yes.
Jessica Rose Clark also has a UFC win over Sarah Alpar, but she has lost against Panek Kinyazad as well as Jessica Evil Eye, but
Hmm.
beats Paige Van Zandt in one
True.
of Paige's last MMA fights.
Hmm.
Also, Beck Rollins, which is a precursor because Rollins, much like Paige Van Zandt, is a member of the BKFC, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship roster, right?
Hmm.
And the win over Karina Dam, that's pretty cool. And it happened at Titan FC 45.
Hmm.
So that's still on UFC Fight Pass. You can catch that. Um, Jesus Christ. This one is pretty even. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
yeah.
pretty even. It's pretty even. But um, Jessica Rose Clark. I don't know if you remember this. The last fight we saw of her, we questioned her her ground game
Uh-huh.
because she's from Australia or something like that.
Yeah,
We questioned if she's had adequate wrestling or adequate grappling and
right.
this and that.
Absolutely.
And
I
it
remember.
turned out she was well versed because I remember she smashed whoever it was that she fought that
Right.
day. And I've seen her level, and I've seen Jocelyn Edwards' level.
Uh-huh.
Edwards would not be competition for Jessica Rose Clark.
Mm.
She's gonna get smashed. She's gonna get smashed, and she's gonna get stopped no later than the third round.
Ooh.
I got Jessica Rose Clark.
I I like it. I was actually going the other way. I would say the same thing, but of Jocelyn Edwards. So
Wait,
I
let's go 50-50 on that.
okay.
No
I like
problem.
it. I
No
like
problem.
it. So yeah. So this one's gonna be a fun one. I feel it is. There's gonna be a
Yes,
lot
it
of
is.
brutality. So hell yes. Now, speaking of brutality, we are at the co-main event of the evening. We have 17-1 Grant Dawson,
Mhm.
right? Grant KGD out of Glory MMA, right, is writing a holy shit. He hasn't lost since 2016. Yeah, and that was over, I mean, against Hugh Pauly at KC Fighting Alliance 18, where he lost via elbows in the first round, 35 seconds, in
Mm.
fact. But he's fought for Victory FC, he's fought for Titan FC, Dana White Contender Series, has wins over Julian Erosa and Mike Trizano, Derek
Mhm.
Minner, Nad Namariani, and Leandro Santos, where
Mhm.
he
Mhm.
KOs Santos with hammer fist in the third round, right? Now, Rick fucking Glenn, and I say it just like that.
Gladiator.
The Gladiator, 22-6. He is. I mean, fuck. He's a bad motherfucker. This one, but I mean, a lot of his wins come of a different age of the UFC, right? Or
Yes.
of
Yes.
MMA in general, because he
Yes.
has a win over Georgi Karakian now in Bellator, right?
Mhm.
But when uh, what is it? When World Series of Fight was still a thing, because
Mhm.
he's basically beats Georgi Karakian in World Series of Fight. Now they're the
Mhm.
Professional Fighters League, so
Mhm.
they've changed the entire look and feel of the promotion. But that's
Mhm.
how long Ricky Glenn has been in there, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, he also has wins over none other than Gavin the Governor Tucker, right? Evan Dunham. Holy shit! Talk about a name you haven't heard in a while.
Mhm.
He loses to Evan Dunham back in 2016, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Lost to Miles Jury. Shout out to Miles Jury. If you
Mhm.
guys haven't subscribed to his channel, he talks about the UFC pay and everything. If you're a fighter, you need to be listening to watching and listening to Miles Jury. He's got it. He's invested some of his money into real estate. Like, he is a self-contained person, and he fights now for fun. He's in Bellator now. So shout out to Miles Jury. But
Mhm.
Dennis the Menace Bermudez has a split decision win over, loses to Kevin Aguilar back in 2018 at the Ultimate Fighter finale, which is, I was there. That was the day before Blake Troop and I got into a car crash. So that, that's pretty ominous. Not ominous, but it's a weird kind of thing to remember, right?
Mhm.
And then Joaquin Silva gets KO'd by Ricky fucking Glenn, the Gladiator, via left hook and a flurry of punches, right? So, holy fuck, man. This one's so fucking good. It's so fucking. I
Yes.
got like goosebumps. This shit is woo, buddy. I've
And they're both Americans too.
Yeah, both
Americans.
Americans. You can't be like, oh, USA. I mean, you could USA all day, but I mean, you couldn't do that with the Jessica Rose Clark and Jocelyn Edwards. I
Mhm.
can't remember. Oh shit! Yes, I was. I think it was GCW, right? A GCW show, and both wrestlers were from out of the country, and people were going USA. I'm like,
Mhm.
are we that dumb? We're talking like a couple hundred people,
You'll be
and
surprised.
oh, believe me, yeah,
You'll be
yeah,
surprised.
yeah. So I want to hear what you got, because this is pretty even, and I think it's going to be a fucking fight of the night contender. This one too.
Hey man, this is gonna be a sick fight.
Hell yes.
Sick fight. There's gonna be some kind of performance, something out of this
Yeah,
fight.
I
Grant
hope so.
Grant Dawson's versus Ricky Glenn. There's gonna be some kind of submission of the night or knockout of the night,
Mhm.
something, or fight of the night.
Yeah,
It's got that potential for real, for real. I don't even know who to pick, so I'm gonna go with Ricky Glenn just because he has more experience. Even though
yeah,
he's number 48, I don't care about that
no,
because any man can win on any given day, or woman.
yeah, 100%. So I mean, with that same kind of ethos, I'm actually gonna rock with the other gentleman, which is Grant Dawson.
Dawson.
Yeah, because they're not too much. I mean, within 8 fights, right?
Hmm.
But also the 8 fights could be less damage, right?
True,
So
true,
that's an ideology. So
true.
I think I'm going to go with Dawson, and maybe Dawson goes to a creek, and maybe they call that Dawson's Creek, and they listen to
Mm.
Paul Cole talk about, I don't want to wait for lives to be over. Yeah, there you go. That's my win per show. So yeah, man, this is a 50-50 split. Again, I think this shit is fireworks. This shit is like fireworks past the 4th of July. Hell yes. I'm sign me. What is it Connor says? Sign me up. Sign me up. That's it. Sign me up. But speaking of things to look out for and to sign for, we are at the main event of the evening. We have the Italian Dream, right? The Italian Marvin Vettori. Yes, the Italian Dream. I got it right the first time. Training out of King's MMA. His most recent loss to Israel Adesanya in the title fight. Obviously, the rematch of their first title fight. First fight, I should say, right? But before that, he was riding a hell of a wave, right? Cesar Fiera in 2019, unanimous decision. Andrew Sanchez gets a unanimous decision.
Mhm.
Carl Robertson gets a rear naked choke, first round rear naked choke. Jack the Joker Hermanson, unanimous decision back in
Mhm.
December of 2020. And then a unanimous
He
decision
bullied him.
win, yeah, over fucking Kevin Holland, where we were just like, fucking Holland.
He bullied him
Ugh.
too.
Yeah, 100%. Right? And he's going up against Paulo Costa. And unfortunately, this isn't a middleweight fucking contest because Paulo Costa, he's the eraser, right? And he just erased anybody's hope of him actually being a legitimate threat. If that last fight with Israel Adesanya didn't do it for you, well, Paulo Costa reminding you that you might never ever want to bet on him again. And first and foremost, I think fucking weight cutting is stupid because if you're not the weight that you actually fight at, then that's a whole different fucking division, right? So I hate it. But if you know and you sign the contract for a particular weight, right, and you come in 40 pounds over, right? I mean, what is middleweight? 155?
Middleweight is 185, right?
Is it 185, right?
Mhm.
And you come 205. So well, I'm sorry. That's 20. Yeah, that's 20 fucking pounds. That's
Yeah.
you're light heavyweight at that point.
Yeah.
That's fucking hell, dude. And for fighters who you post about the personal life and everything like that, a lot of people on the fucking Twitter, a lot of people on the Instagram, a lot of people on the book face, right? They are all talking about you were posting those fucking photos of you eating. They're all posting photos of you fucking drinking wine and shit like that. Maybe you're undisciplined. Like I would scrap all of that shit from my fucking social media. There's not one food pic. There's not whatever because you don't know when people are going to use that as ammunition to fucking clap your ass back. So,
Yeah.
with that all being said, man,
I
I I got
I don't
Vittori.
I got Vettori too, man. This is a no-brainer. If the man is that far off the mark, that means he's not in shape.
Yeah,
Now,
but that's a fucking. He looks like a fucking juiced up Ricky Martin. Like what the fuck
yeah.
ass? Like
Now,
it's
now we need to think why. What is the reason? What is the reason? You usually, when a man can't bring down his weight, it's because he cannot run. He could
mm,
he could be he could possibly be damaged already
yeah,
in camp. Maybe he has a staph infection and it's hard for him to drop the weight. We don't know.
yeah,
We don't know. He says he'll talk about it afterwards,
yeah,
but I believe whatever it is, it's physical. It's something physical that's limiting his ability to drop the weight. You can sauna yourself, but there's only so much you can go. There's only so far you can go with the sauna
yeah.
before it becomes counterproductive. But the weight is usually lost on the road running, and I don't believe he's able to do that. And I think he also might have mismanaged his timing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those are the two things that I see here. But ever since Adesanya, his mind hasn't been the same.
No. Right.
You know what I mean? He was supposed to fight Robert Whitaker, he canceled. He was supposed to
Uh-huh.
fight Jared Cannonier, canceled. You know what I mean? Cannonier, he was like, I didn't sign, I don't sign this and that.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. I think Israel really screwed up his mind,
I agree.
and I don't know when he's gonna return. But Marvin, even though Marvin just lost to Israel as well,
Yeah,
I think Marvin has a better opportunity and a better chance of winning this match because he has learned one thing that he can do to everyone because he did it to the champ. His wrestling. He's gonna wrestle the hell out of Paulo Costa. He's gonna drag him into the deepest of ocean,
yeah,
and he's gonna drown him and finish him in the fifth round. He's gonna finish him. Paulo Costa will not walk away from this one. He will get finished in that, if not
yeah,
the fourth round. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends in the fourth because I
yeah.
believe Marvin Vettori, he's got great cardio and he's going to bring a whole lot of wrestling. He's not going to box. He's not going to kickbox. He's going to do what he has to do to get inside. He's going to do his best to exhaust Paulo Costa, and I believe he'll
Mm.
get it, and he'll finish him no later than the fourth round.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, in terms of the fall from grace of one Paulo Costa, right? It, just looking at MMA terms, right? Look at none other than fucking Edson Barbosa. After that fight with Habib, he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the same, right? Habib literally stole his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Anderson Silva wasn't the same after his leg break, and his two subsequent losses to one Chris Weidman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then look no further than UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, right? When Dana White, after that first fight with Stipe, didn't really fucking, he didn't have Francis's back. They gave him the
Mm-hmm.
fucking, the rocket ship, right, to blossom into another stratosphere, right? But then once he lost it, that they fucking extinguished that fucking fire, right? So, with that all being said, it's like I don't know what the fuck is going on with Paulo Costa, but I do worry. I do worry about him because you know why not fight fucking light heavyweights if that's the weight that you wanted to do? And the when everything is good, right? People are like, oh, you know, he has a gym of fighters who just come to help him, right? Rather than the group setting where everybody's trying to push each other. He surrounds himself with people who are basically indebted to him, right? That
Mm-hmm.
that need him, and he needs them as well, right? So when that all that effort happens and there's no fucking gold to show for it, that's got to be a fucking hit to your ego, right? And sometimes ego, especially in MMA and all of combat sports, you need a little bit to get you to that final bell, that proverbial finish line, right? And unfortunately, I don't know if he'll get it back. I hope he gets it back, but yeah, man, I got the fucking Italian dream.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Even though Vittori kind of,
Yeah, he's not. It
yeah, he's not very articulate.
no.
No, actually, he might be articulate, but his tone is not very appealing. The way
Yeah,
he sounds,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't want to hear it sometimes, but I have to listen to what the man has to say.
right.
I'm sure he's improved from the last time to this time that I'm listening to him speak. It's a little better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a little better. But the mic skill is gonna have to improve a lot. I do like the villain persona. I like that for him. That's gonna get him far quickly because he'll be able to get favorable matchups. There are more baby faces around than there are villains, so he'll always be attractive in that manner. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So, I think this is unanimous. We're going for the Italian dream.
Most
Uh,
def.
but Israel Adesanya, like this one, I don't. Even if this was, at what 180, whatever fucking weight class that it was supposed to be, 185. Yeah, because it's the Anderson Silva belt, so theoretically.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
185, right?
Mhm.
Um, Even still, like, would Paulo Costa or fucking Marvin Vettori be any more improved to face a fucking. I'm sorry, he's a fucking indomitable, fucking Israel Adesanya.
Hey, there's one thing that we haven't talked about actually, man.
What do we got?
The arrival of Alex Boateng Pereira. Are you
Alex
familiar
who?
with this guy? Alex Pereira.
No.
Boateng, Hands of Stone. Man, you need to look that dude up. Alex
Alex.
Pereira. Oh my goodness.
Potan, right?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
He he
Glory. He's a fucking
yeah.
glory champion.
Yes.
Ooh,
The
shit.
the the only man to knock out Israel. Cold. Hit him with
Mm.
that left hook. Knocked him out
Oh,
cold.
Jesus Christ.
Fierce. This dude is on a whole nother level from the Amazonian jungle. You know what I mean? He comes from dirt. You remember, you know what we talk about, them dudes that come from dirt,
Yeah,
that come from,
especially the what's it? Davidson Figueredo,
you know
right?
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This guy is Davison Figueroa to the 10th power.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? He is nothing but war. You go to his Instagram, it's just training footages all day long. Or he's firing a bow. He's firing a bow all day long. He's into assassin. He's like he reminds me of Assassin's Creed. You know that video game. He
Yeah, yeah.
reminds me of one of them dudes. You know, he lives that life. That's all he knows, and that's all he cares for. That
Mm-hmm.
guy seeks the belt. I don't feel that he looks for money. This guy, I mean,
No.
he'll take the money, but he is a fighter's fighter. He wants to be the very best. He wants to be the only one on the throne. He wants all the titles. He's that kind of guy. He
Yeah.
doesn't care about money. So if they give him like 20 to fight, 20 to win, he'll take that gladly. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because when that goes back to the Amazon, it's gonna be 100. So he
Yeah.
doesn't really care.
Yeah.
He wants a title. And I like
100%.
this dude. I really like this dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And he is training in Connecticut now. He's residing in. I mean, he's Brazilian by birth, but he
Hmm.
is here. So I know that he knows to compete in MMA. Yes, you're a former glory champion, but to compete in MMA, you have to be well rounded.
Hmm.
Also in Connecticut, and I don't know if he's up there, but Gonzaga, Gabriel
Hmm.
Gonzaga is up there, and I
Hmm. Hmm.
believe also, if I'm
Glover
not,
Teixeira. He's
yeah,
been
that's what
training
I
with
was gonna
Glover.
say.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Glover's this dude. They're homies. Yeah, they've been training together.
yeah,
Yeah,
so okay, I'm now just as excited
yeah.
as you are. So
He's sick, man. This
yeah,
guy is on another level.
yeah,
Another level. There is no uh huge swing like the movies. It's just boom. You know what I mean? He connects so well, man. He connects so well. And the bones in his hands are so heavy. He touches you slightly and you go to sleep. They
hmm,
all go to sleep. Every last one of them.
yeah,
Anyone that gets touched on the chin goes to sleep, man. You know what I mean? Unless he doesn't touch your chin, because
yeah,
when he does, it's nighty night.
yeah.
I can't wait to have him in the octagon.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I mean, Gokhan Saki has been there, and it didn't work out so well.
Didn't work out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
But the difference between Gokhan Saki and this guy is Gokhan Saki comes from privilege.
mhm,
He comes from a first world country.
yeah,
Just coming from a first world country sets him apart
yeah,
already. Compared to
awesome.
this guy, no one compares to this guy. No one, not even Israel.
Yeah,
Israel comes from money too. He comes
yeah,
from
yeah.
money. Even though he comes from a third world country, his father
His,
was wealthy.
yeah,
Yeah, his family was wealthy, so he lived a comfortable life. But this guy, Poitin, this guy's on a whole nother level, man. There's a respect that comes with this dude. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to say he doesn't even speak English,
yeah,
but you're compelled to give him his respect. You know what I mean? He doesn't even speak English.
yeah,
He doesn't understand what the hell you're saying, but you're compelled to give him his respect just
yeah,
based on his track record
yeah,
of bodies laid to waste, toe tagged. You know what I'm saying? Coroners picked him up. Hey, this guy, people will love this guy. He will become something big in the UFC.
That'd be great. That'd be great because, unfortunately, that whole top echelon of 185-pound fighters, Israel just fucking
He massacred him.
everything you got. You could throw the top 5 at Israel right now, and he just beats the shit out of him. I'm sorry.
Now check this out. If Israel can do that to the top 5, what do you think this guy's gonna do?
I know.
What Israel did to those top 5, this guy does to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
What's this guy gonna do with the top 5?
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Can you understand the destruction that's coming? You know how the government are talking about there's a storm coming. There's a storm coming. You know what I mean? A storm is coming, and his name is Alex Pereira. Portan, hands of stone. People, faces will be broken. You wait and see. Faces will be broken. I wouldn't be surprised if we see our first murder in the cage.
Oh no, 100%. Well, here's the thing, right? The top 15 leading up to Israel Adesanya, Andre Muniz, Kevin Holland, Chris Weidman, who's a non-point at this juncture, Brad Tavares, Edmund Shabazian at 11, Uriah Hall, Kevin Gastelum. Oh God, I would like to see Polton against Uriah Hall. I think that could be a fun fight. As a warm up.
Polton will break him down in less than 3 rounds. It will be a good fight.
Yeah.
But Polton will break him down in less than 3 rounds.
Yeah. Then you got Darren Till, number 8, right? Then 7 is Sean Strickland. That could be a fun fight. And then you've got Jack Hermanson, right? And then rounding up the top 5 is Marvin Vettori, Brunson, Cannonier, and Paulo Costa. And obviously, the 2 headlining it are Vettori and Paulo Costa, right?
He beats all those names.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, I can't wait. So, Poltan, come to the UFC.
Yeah. He already signed.
I know, but like, I want that shit, on paper. Like,
pronto.
Yeah, let's do that shit before Christmas.
I want to see his poster and who he's fighting. I want to see that.
Yeah,
that's gonna be ridiculous, man. That first fight. Oh my God, he's gonna make a huge statement.
Yeah, so
he's a dangerous individual. This guy, very dangerous.
I fucking can't wait. I can't wait. Also, things I can't wait for tomorrow night at the Ukrainian Cultural Complex. It is Josh Marnette's Bloodsport.
Sports.
Yes, and I believe there might be a ticket or 2 floating around on the internet. You go ahead and check Josh's Twitter, Instagram, as well as the GCW Twitter or Instagram. But if you aren't able to make it to the East LA Ukrainian Cultural Complex, I mean, not East LA, but East Hollywood, California Ukrainian Cultural Complex, you can purchase the entire Bloodsport card on Fight TV right now. You might actually get $1 or 2 credit by purchasing it on the pre-order. And then there's GCW. It's War something. I want to say War Room or what have you. That happens the same venue the very next night. So it's going to be all types of chaos, just fucking chaos. And you've got the legend Minoru Suzuki is on this fucking card against the United Wrestling Network champion, the Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson. You've also got Josh Barnett fighting on this card, Masha Slamovich, and one Marina Shafir. Yep, that Marina Shafir, former WWE notable, part of the 4 horsewomen of MMA, along with one Jessamine Duke, Shayna Baszler, and Ronda Rousey, right? That is and Masha Slamovich, who just got signed to Impact Wrestling. So this is a cross-promotional deal, and this could be Masha Slamovich's swan song as she ascends to Impact Wrestling's roster. So, and they have a big pay-per-view this weekend in Vegas called Slam. I believe it's Bound for Glory. So that's going to be cool. Also found on Fight TV, and then the fight that I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them, but I hate it when friends fight. But Kaz versus Zeta Zhang, two
Mm.
women. Kaz, if you guys don't know about her, she does a lot of the graphics for Impact Wrestling, AEW, and NWA, right? She's a graphic designer. And then she's also a Ruben Cobrina Charles black belt. She got that during quarantine, which was awesome. And Zeta Zhang is a former undefeated MMA prospect when she fought under a given name in Virginia, as well as a NXT notable. So
Hmm.
that's going to be banana, as Pat Patterson says. So I will be
Indeed.
there. Yeah. So hope to see you guys there if you're there. And if not, check us out on Fight TV and Voodoo. Where can people find you on the socials?
Well, I currently have real estate at YouTube, Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter, and Snapchat.
Ooh,
And Snapchat. I got five on it. I got five on it.
there's not enough room for me to spit
Five
already.
time. Five time.
Can you dig it, sucker? Oh yes. And I'm Accordion Woods, where you can find me at Accordion Woods. And Takeo Pile says, "Good night, guys. Good night, Takeo, and good night, all of you. And we will see you Sunday for more voodoo." Wait, where's the comment? Yes, more voodoo in the woods.